with Team Soap finally taken down. Fighting in the field though between Armory Gaming and Whitefish. Armory Gaming cannot lose that many members to this state, but Belmo actually gonna steal one away from Armory Gaming. Riz too aggressive on that shack, gets punished for it. I thought the decisions were going to come easy to Armory Gaming here. The freedom they have on that eastern side is so clean. Rapsiak versus PMA. Who comes out on top? Of course it's FAP. It's always FAP coming out on top for RXE. A nice pre-nade. Nets him 2 kills. James claims 2 onto WF. All this field fighting going on. We cannot keep track of all of it. Belmoth looking to steal as much as he can as well. One down onto Thanahan. Daytrade up here on the hill, no pressure from anyone else around them either. They can just look at these fields, shoot through all the weight inside that field and claim all these steals, all that they want.
Selamat malam, selamat datang di live streaming Nobar PAC PAQ deh, maaf. Hari terakhir penentuan tim Indonesia from the future aka FTF lolos atau tidak ya. Waduh, sebentar. Sepertinya FC saya salah ya.
To the range of the nade that's gonna be cooked up by James. He's gonna find Puchu in the vehicle, and they can basically send these 2 members to deal with him for now.
The Basco, ada Via, ada Fatur, tiba-tiba absen. Ada Anissa, Kesuma, Bang Ipe, Rizkiku, Rizkiku, Gendal, Jaya, Gabriel, Via, Agus, Black Pebble, Renaldi. Selamat datang Fatur, no by one. Langsung main kita. Masing main. Nonton maksudnya. Gila, ini makin hari emang makin cepat apa gimana ya? Match 4 udah 4 besar aja ini jam 8 nih. Ketinggalan berapa semester bang? Oh, aman-aman. 1,5 tahun lah kira-kira itu. Kak Listian untuk membershipnya, tapi April ini 2 tahun nih bang. Kalau ini sih kita telat 3 game lah jatuhnya. Sisanya 2 game lagi setelah ini ya. Ini game keempat. Kematian nih. Kematian nih. Ada kemungkinan nggak ya Mortar nabrak Kret?
But happy to see it. They're landing very close to Daytrade, a little bit off to the left, maybe a little bit more right, and they would manage to get a knock deal. GLS versus Daytrade though.
Sakit bang Pucil.
Determines a lot for Armory Gaming.
Yeah, zone grenades are also
Elgato gimana bang? Belum ngulik. Tidak ada waktu.
GLS just bombing their way through. Puchu's almost getting caught right there and then. Oh, he's definitely
belum ada waktu guys ya ngulik-ngulik begitu. Nanti aja santai, tenang, chill. Iya, Bang Rap ini gila loh guys. Dari kemarin tuh late game terus. Kemarin hampir chicken 3 kali loh dia. Dia top 2, FTF top 3 guys. Kayaknya kalau AG-nya agresif ini nyalip FTF kayaknya guys. Alhamdulillah FTF masih top 3 sih guys. Doain aja ya. Stay, minimal stay, kalau bisa naik ya kan. Konsisten. Sementara posisi 3 sih nah. Nanti kita buka Wikipedia ya, agar enak-enak menganalisa. Oh, AG ini kepisah dia. Ada yang di gubuk, ada yang di ladang nih. Ndut, thank you udah join membership. Welcome to Fox Gold.
Just keeping a foundational lock on Armory Gaming's spot in the circle. But certainly these spots from Dynasty and Shanks are going to play a pivotal role when the fight between RXE, Daytrade,
pakai speaker aja dulu guys. Namanya juga Nobar ya kan.
because as soon as one of these teams gets involved with another one, then that third party is going to come in.
RXE Vietnam, ya.
It's all
Rap ini
go
Vietnam.
from 0 to 100 very quickly, because at the same time as
nomor 1 juga Vietnam itu.
wants to third party RXE and Daytrade, obviously GLS is going to want to do the exact same
Kalau
thing.
nggak salah
And
ya.
Shanks is going to come in the back for GLS. It's going to get real messy. Really quickly, but not at that point yet. At this point, people are just sitting very quietly.
Tuh, kata Mas Agus tuh yang main trik, Aukarin happy sama Cimo. Happy itu TD ya guys ya.
Yeah, and while we look into how they've been basically set up
Aukarin itu Rido.
for the end game potential to be pulling towards their own side, I do fancy the chances for GLS though. A lot of supply have
Malam
been
juga
given to
Yansky.
them by the PUBG gods. So
Nanti abis nobar mau main apa Mas?
Or a little cover might be giving them at least a little
Bisa
bit of space.
roleplay,
So, of course, you still
bisa
have
tiba-tiba
four
game
members
random,
of Daytrade to deal
tergantung.
with. And Daytrade, as much as they do have the numbers for now, eventually when the rest of the members of RXE as well as Armory Gaming also apply equal pressure, that may actually crack them, even with them being in the direct central area of the
Gue nonton dari sore, struggle, deg-degan banget FTF. Tapi lumayan banget ya Meng ya. Bisa ngumpulin poin lumayan banyak loh tadi. Cuman di match ini kayaknya tadi belum menyala ya. Di 3 match sebelumnya kayaknya lumayan tuh. Aktif kill. Apalagi match 2 kalau nggak salah tadi killnya 10 gitu. Rank 4 kill 10 kalau nggak salah ya. Lumayan banget kan, poin berapa? 14 berarti kan? 14 bukan ya? Placement berapa sih?
Shanks and Dynasty have to move off their off angles once more.
6,
They're going to try and stay on them though.
5,
They've got space in the
salah
fields on their
10,
respective sides
6,
to
5,
kind of
4.
maintain the
Ah
same
ya,
role, just
harusnya
a
4 poin
little
nih.
tighter in the
Rank
zone.
4.
Shots actually opened up
3,
now.
2,
I think that's by Shanks onto GLS, or maybe it was Daytrade onto GLS. Didn't actually see, but I think it was Shanks. I think he decided to open up, so I'd take a peek. I don't think he had full info on where GLS was, so thought he might catch a timing onto GLS in the open. Not the case. GLS have those foldable shields set up. They've got a rock to work with as well. Dayu pushing his way ever closer to the ridge that was in front of them the whole time. They never actually moved to it. No reason to us.
Dengar-dengar lu sering login PUBG sekarang, Dris.
They were never super pressured, but
cuman nolak main gitu. Kenapa itu, Dris? Kalau boleh tahu.
James also obviously got that shack to work with as well. He's got hay bales on the back, but they're not going to give him the angles he wants.
Wah, ini mah pembagian lahan guys. Sistemnya. Info ranking sementara 3 guys. Nggak tahu setelah match ini ya. Semoga nggak ke salib. Yang peluang banget nyalip itu sekarang AG.
There's 4 teams all with a decent shot at winning it if they're able to time their picks correctly.
Ini RXE itu dia rank 2 sekarang.
And just survive longer than the remaining teams. Who will be the first engager?
Menyala mulu anjing RXE ini guys.
Gila bro.
Bukan nolak pengen solo dulu. Sama aja dong. Ya nolak lah Dris. Apa sih? Bukan nolak. Pengen solo dulu. Sama aja nih. Tiba-tiba punya konek adik-adik. Di depan komik ya Bete katanya tuh dibullying mulu King. Jadi malas main bareng. Tapi itu langsung dipatahkan kemarin main Pamel Party sih. Gak tau ya abis itu ya. Gak kelihatan. Rata RXE peringkat 2 down guys. Daytrade down 3. Gila bro. 2 orang obrak-ngabrik kayaknya. Dicolong lagi sama AG. Ya Allah. Nah, down 1 AG. AG ini bahaya guys. Bahaya, aduh nyalip ini mah bang. FTF sepertinya turun ke peringkat 4 ya guys ya. AG harusnya naik ini. Gila ini. Posisinya susah loh padahal. Kecuali batu ini enak ya.
Daytrade there off on the north.
Mengerikan ya guys.
Who's going to get pushed up first? Nice shot from Nurens. He continues to
1
step
lawan
up
2.
in this late game. Shanks down. The res is going to come in onto Jame though. It's going to be a 2v2.
Gak ada util adik-adik.
2v2 for the ages potentially. A rock versus some hay
Sisa satu
bales. No
smoke.
damage utility on any of these players. It's already been thrown out. It's already been used to kill RXE, kill GLS. And so these guys are just going to be gunfights. Never mind, I take that back. That's one grenade that deals damage to Flash, but just damage, no knock. Armory Gaming pushed their way up to the cars in the middle of the field. A little bit more cover to work with. It's forward cover to work with. I like this for Armory. It means the Day Trade are going to have to push their way out of the smokes, push themselves into Armory Gaming's crosshair, and it could be an Armory Gaming win. A 19-kill win at that, already on 17. An incredible effort from them, but looking to finish it off. Dynasty will get his flush, and Nurans continues to probe. But this is Armory Gaming we're talking about. This is Armory Gaming getting the win. 19 kills.
Keras.
Secure their spot in the top 8.
M goib. Bener tuh. M goib anjing. AG. Apalah.
The record high for the playoffs here in the APAC
Apa itu?
Qualifiers, as Armory Gaming should secure themselves that spot in the finals this weekend. What a game that was, a high stakes game where they were basically
AG.
full squad of Day Trade, of course with some pressure coming from Valai Esports and GLS from the top as well as the bottom. That left Lawrence to make plays happen.
Belum update ya guys ya.
I thought that Lawrence might have actually clutched in situations like that because he managed to also go in for the pickup to make it 2 versus 2 by the end of it all. Without Lawrence right there, they may not have
error apa gimana?
About to tell the tale to this very final battle against AG, but AG definitely played this one perfectly.
Udah deh.
From that early game, they zoned out multiple teams and
kok AG 7? Oh salah. Kan round 15 ya. Match 3 ini guys. Sorry. Lupa guys. Belum di-update ya. Pantesan. Kok salah kata gue. Bang, kenapa setiap lu nobar FTF tusun lah? Setiap sudah gua duga guys, orang-orang kayak gini nih, setiap katanya. Yang gua nonton FTF epic bertahan dijepit bla 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 mah nggak ada dia guys, nggak mungkin ada. Rizky makasih 21 bulannya ya. Kata-katanya loh ini guys ya. Catat guys, catat ya. Setiap lu nobar, gila. Setiap kita catat nih deh. Setiap rank 3 bro, gila. Si ngaruh juga tuh ya, gua tonton atau kagak tuh. Bener tuh tadi nonton sendiri mereka top 4. Sip. Refresh lagi bang tuh. Oke. Mari kita cek. Harusnya turun ke 4 ya. Nah sesuai ya. AG lagi menyela abangku nih guys. FTF sama PNC deket banget ya. Atas bawah. Wah ini tipis-tipis semua nih. Dari 7 sampai ke 4 ini tipis banget ya semua ya. RS VLTH juga tipis. Ini bahaya nih berarti nih. 9 besar bahaya nih guys. Di match kelima sama ke-6 nih harus benar-benar solid. Abu ada aja emang biasa lah. Biasalah, wok-woknya aja gede guys. Masa nggak mau di notice ya kan? Wok anjing. Gua waktu itu nonton FTF round 4 positioning 2 kill 3. Ada memang yang tusun tapi kill 4. Ini juga tusun tapi kill 4. Mana ya? Ada lagi berarti round berapa tuh? 10 ya. Round 10 peringkat 8 kill 4. Round 11 peringkat 3 kill 4. Round 12 gue nonton juga rank 3 kill 5. Tuh. Selalu guys. Selalu tusun. Memang mungkin tusun di dia tuh rank 3 tuh tusun guys. Kayaknya ya. Kalau yang tadi ini beneran yang tadi beneran tusun sih. Soalnya rank 14 kill 0 ya. Kalau yang sebelumnya lagi lumayan garang nih, kill 6, kill 10. Ada sih yang agak tusun dikit nih tapi kill 3. Seenggaknya dia ada kill gitu, ada poin ya. Kalau satu kali itu nggak selalu bang. Kayak mana masa sekali selalu? Lu doain FTF-nya selalu tusun apa gimana nih? Wah guys, gila nggak respect Indo nih sini. Nggak hashtag Indopret guys. Setiap tadi ya, gila. Setiap nonton tuh sekali anjing. Gila nih orang nih. Semoga aja malam ini FTF makan ayam tuh, amin. Wih, hampir. Bahaya nih. Lul. Kalpin Darmawan.
Jorok anjing. Selalu ganggu sini mohon cepet. Gila. Udah download 5M Bang Alvin belum nih?
Setiap nonton. Goreng lagi.
Kali ya.
Ini tusun gak nih Ocas nih kalau gua tonton nih? Masih ngelok di 60 kah Mas Tok? Waktu main masih kayaknya. Belum gua ulik. Belum gua coba install ulang Elgato, soalnya kan kalau gua install ulang nggak bisa langsung stream gitu guys.
Download client 5m.x.
Mau 5M nih guys, mau 5M. De Ocas anjing, De Ocas. Wih, sobat turun ini sepertinya.
Alongside with GLS and
udah ada nih.
Also falling out of it. If we have good games from PMA, GLS, Valai Tai, then you can certainly see
sesuai aplikasi ya guys ya.
And RS falling out of it. Probably not Panic, FTF, or Armor Gaming. Armor put themselves in third.
Kita doain guys FTF lolos. Kalau bisa top 3 ya kan.
Absolutely insane. Yeah,
Jepang lagi tuh demon apa gimana nih? Lagi bangkit, lagi panas apa gimana ya? Soalnya setahu gue Jepang itu top 3-nya di bawah tuh. Di bawah semua nih Jepang nih guys. Lagi chicken-chickennya nih.
And obviously that region can do a lot of damage, and it's good to finally see it in some
Taiwan.
qualifiers like this. We've seen highlights from Japan all the time, but they're never able to get consistent wins. I suppose they're able to put themselves, or at least multiple teams, in contention for international slots. Same case here in this tournament, but we've seen highlights from them today, which is fantastic. Unicorn Cyber with the other win.
Habis ini FTF main lagi nggak mas? Main. 2 match lagi.
So as we go into this final game, whenever it does pop.
Brodok main apa malam ini? Brogi mau main apa? Aku ikut. Kalau maksudnya kalau random game ikut aku. Kalau GTA ya udah kita GTA bareng gitu. Babang makasih. Pokoknya yang bisa mengubah gue itu game random aja. Brogi. Kalau kayak apa PB atau PUBG atau RC misalkan, mungkin skip dulu. Tapi kalau ada game random gas. Kalau nggak ada mungkin buang RP bang. Voting masih besok ya. Besok bisa besok. Di games itu Sabtu apa gimana sih?
Now they didn't seem to have any form of that momentum, but we definitely see gradual improvements.
Ya pokoknya FS masih libur gue nih. In game gue masih nge-stuck di 60 AZ soalnya. Mager aja.
They could potentially challenge for that top 4 in that round of Tego, but of course that really set them back a little bit more and still within that danger zone of
Bang dolar bang.
Yeah, so 2 more Miramars now.
Emang apps Nvidia lagi sering error karena mau diubah tampilannya ngaruh ke kontrol panelnya. Itu sebenarnya udah dari beberapa tahun yang lalu, Pli. Cuman kan di monitor lama gua udah gua setting. Nah, pas ganti monitor itu nggak tahu kenapa gitu ya. Seingat gue sih settingannya udah gue sesuaiin lagi gitu, tapi hasilnya tuh nggak sesuai. Fuck, kayak nggak mempan gitu, nyangkut. Udah di unchecklist G-Sync-nya juga tetep gitu, G-string jadi. Adrian makasih 10 bulan ya. FPS Mas Tomual guys lumayan berbayang bro, mata gua agak-agak nggak sesuai bro. Mungkin kemarin udah dapat settingan yang lumayan agak gitu, cuman tetap geter gitu. Apa kayak layarnya tuh kayak shaking gitu loh, nggak padat, nggak smooth.
Because the Twire's only hasn't been updated, so it's okay. The top frags.
Ini nggak ada yang nanyain salah kabel lagi. Hah, bayi. Permasalahan bayi itu.
And I guess like I'll keep my eyes on Valai Esports because they're on that red line right now on 9th. And statistically, throughout the past 2 days when they were playing in Miramar, they have secured a lot of
yang di monitor langsung udah. Kalau yang monitor langsung dia berubah sesuai ini ya. 60 Hz berapa main PB awal. Nah, kalau 2009-an pakai 60 Hz masih oke lah. Mata gua juga mengenalnya 60 Hz kalau dulu bang. Nah kalau gitu dan kenal 144 ya. Buset. Gak usah 144 gitu, dari 75 ke 60 aja berasa gitu kan. Di Fortnite kan gua udah kayak ninjanya Indo. Gila ngeri banget bang. Roarnya dong bang. Ih mahal-mahal beli monitor 280 Hz ya kan. Pas main FPS mentok 60. Kena sobat Elgato biasa. Ini namanya ada BUG dari Nvidia. Kemarin gua udah update tetap. Tapi saran Macleod sih kemarin belum gue lakuin ya. Gue mau coba install ulang si Elgatonya. Jadi kayak gue mau masang Elgatonya tuh dari nol lagi gitu loh. Ya PR gue lah buat ngulik. Fuck. Malam aja kita ulik pakai Anydex mas tuh. Anydex apaan itu? Beli. Tapi lu tahu permasalahannya kan beli ya? Perkara Elgato doang. Kalau gua sebenarnya bukan Elgatonya sih, mirroring si mode layar gua kan pakai 2 layar, 1 layar ini sama 1 layar Elgato. Kalau di mirroring itu apa yang gua lihat Elgato juga lihat kan. Nah kalau gua pakai extended display yang dipisahin itu aman, 200.000% harusnya aman beli. Karena dia nggak nge-mirroring kan, jadi masing-masing. Tapi bedanya yang gua lihat kalian nggak lihat, jadi gua harus pakai trik OBS double atau screen capture double atau buka Elgato aplikasi di guanya ini double di monitor kedua, yaitu di OBS kalian yang kalian tonton ini sekarang. Itu biasanya opsi beberapa streamer ya, karena gue nggak mau ribet orangnya kan. Jadi gue display capture aja, jadi gue alt tab kayak begini tuh kelihatan aja gitu. Kalau misalkan gue pakai cara yang tadi itu nanti misah, jadi apa yang gue lihat yang di monitor satu tuh nggak kelihatan semua di kalian, kecuali gue masukin ke sebelah gitu. Jadi ribet ya, jadi ribet. Tapi itu bisa jadi opsi kalau gue udah mentok banget guys sebenarnya. Elgatonya nyangkut ke display utama, jadi HZ-nya sama yang Elgato kan, bukan ke HZ monitor. Betul di era play. Jadi ibaratnya mah kalah prioritas gitu si monitor satu. Padahal udah gua ulik kemarin, gua cabut bla 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 biar monitor duluan gitu. Si Elgatonya belakangan tetap aja. Babang makasih masa like-nya belum kompe. Go FTF go. Lah itu dia. Gas yuk FTF. Let's go.
And we might have an island circle.
FTF di arah Los Leones bawah, bertetangga dengan Day Trade dan juga logonya apa itu? Ada RS, ada Pixel, ada orang Jepang dah pokoknya. Ada. Nanti pas off stream kita ulik lagi Mas tuh. Aku off streamnya jam 3 sih Rapli. Mepet waktu sahur. Gak ada waktu, gue juga kemarin ngulik kayak speedrun anjing. Gue paling ngulik 20 menit 30 menit cabut, gue setengah 4. Ngulik 20 menit 30 menit cabut lagi. Jadi speedrun gue. Mungkin nanti harus khusus lah. Saya ini ya, saya luangkan waktu buat mengulik permasalahan Elgato ini ya. Karena yang jadi masalah itu bukan monitornya sebenarnya, hanya settingannya aja yang nyangkut gitu. Monitornya mah aman, gila. Ini satu-satunya monitor yang gua tahu 280 Hz stay ya. Soalnya ada beberapa atau banyak brand itu 280 Hz-nya kayak overclock yang kalau dipakai cuma 30 menit begitu. Ini yang tahu-tahu aja, yang ngerti-ngerti aja ya. Karena basicnya dia 20 untuk rata-rata monitor yang gue pakai. Wih, gila. Yuskun, terima kasih 10 member gift-nya cair. UNC meratakan Forest Gaming adik-adik. Makin saja to the moon sepertinya. Unicorn Cyber Esports di sini. Gila. Disastrous to say the least. Scappy tried to get involved and immediately just got shotgunned. It was kind of funny to watch it. Thank you Yus. Lancar terus rezekinya ya, proyeknya. Lancar, semoga nggak tipes, amin. FTF siapa yang keculik? Oh iya juga ya, perang dia sama Pixel berarti. Ya ini nih sama Pixel nih guys. 1 untuk 1. Udah bertiga aja nih. Semoga aman. Di Pixel juga keras guys. Walaupun di peringkat 12 ya, ingat ya. Ini lu mau peringkat paling akhir pun guys, mereka itu pro player. Keras-keras M-nya. Tipe sih enggak tuh habis operasi. Hashtag berapa FTF tuh? Sementara 4. Doain aja. Stay 5 besar lah ya. Jangan turun. Gue sih berharap tetap ke top 3 sih. Sejujurnya. Biar makin aman gitu. Ini dia, mau ras. Aduh! Tidak! Ini bacotan abu jadi terrealisasi nih guys kalau gini ceritanya. Ingat guys, ucapan adalah doa ya. Aduh, kena skema guys. Gue kira dia udah tahu ada orang di situ, ternyata memang mau rotasi aja dia. Siva makasih 11 bulan ya. Semakin kalian ngomong Octo efek itu guys, semakin kalian mendoakan cara nggak langsung ya. Iya ini abu guys, dari kemarin tuh nggak ada guys ya. Ya Allah. Doakan makanya yang terbaik aja.
Yeah. It was hectic. I thought the Panzer Faust might do a little bit more as well, but yeah, the Pixel Stars closed it out. And I don't think we're going to be seeing anyone commit to the island.
Ada kata setiap Okto tuh, ada setiapnya bro. Padahal baru sekali tusun, gara-gara udah itu jadi 2 kali tusun ini. 2 kali ini.
In fact, we're so convinced it might not happen. The picture forget about them for now. They will show themselves later.
Mana nih Bang Miku nih?
For the moment though, everyone positioning themselves around Impala. FTF take the central spot.
Lagi menyala loh tadi. Double makasih 3 bulan ya.
Dangerous split from RXC, but remember they're basically locked in for top 8, so they can do whatever the hell they want.
Khusus member aja nggak sih? Halah, member juga. Ujung-ujungnya nanti ada juga nih. Ingat guys, ucapan adalah doa ya guys ya. Hati-hati, kalian semakin menggoreng itu semakin banyak doanya itu. Kata-kata setiap itu bahaya loh. Coba. Bennett Idris. Dulu juga abus Idris, cuman ketolong moderator aja itu. Tiap nonton FTF pasti top 1 loh. Amin. Itu doa kan? Ya. Doa ya, amin amin. Duluan sekolah dulu toh. Siap Bang Yus. Semoga lancar sekolahnya ya. Sertifikasi lancar. Apa sih ada sih? Karir ngaruh. Jenjang karir meningkat. Terus atasan ramah. Apa lagi? Lingkungan kerja nyaman, tidak toksik ya. Amin. Isn't exactly having the clearance of passage. Well, Foxray Kingslayer will have the rest of Valai Tai all across. Nggak bisa tuh sesama momot. Wah enggak, itu sesama abu sih menurut gua mah gua. Babang makasih. Idris habis kapitalis waktu itu. Masa buat member aja nggak bisa Idris, ya Allah. Masih dibahas tuh. Udah Bang, duit dia tuh habis buat only one. Udahlah. Kesian lah. Udah benar buat nabung. Ya kan Dris? Based on the map feed, I'm looking at shots coming from the side of RS. Other than that, komentar Indonesia. Other teams are just looking to wait out for this zone to close out. Pertanda match 6 chicken fix tuh gitu. Orang tuh positif guys. Positif gitu. Doain ya. So Belmo should be okay at the very least. Tapi jadinya deg-degan banget guys. Soalnya kan poinnya nggak gerak ya. Walaupun nambah 1 sih. Everyone's setting themselves in dari nicely. Again, it's a game where we've already lost a couple teams, so there's going to be more space available. Tuh, Iyo sudah mulai nih guys. Pertanda dia lagi dekat sama cewek muslim ini biasanya guys. Teams will take full advantage of that. Very close by to Unicorn Cyber. Bismillah ya. GLS and Diane. Do we go to the islands? Mana yang tadi mau mote kopet lagi? Disaster for basically everyone on the mainland, or is it a game of PUBG? Kena dah. Game of PUBG. 1 second. It's dangerously close. Lah masa beda lagi tuh? Oh beda lagi. Bukan berarti guys ya. Salah. Emang lagi Ramadan berarti ya. Ramadan Pride berarti. Benar. Respect guys. Babang waktunya dukung peringkat 12 ke bawah. Let's go. Sebenarnya gua anaknya kan suka banget sama anime Jepang ya kan. Kita dukung Jepang gak guys sih? Ini ISG nih kayaknya bagus ini. Menyala kayaknya ini ISG nih di match ini ya. Ya nggak sih? Yang kemarin pas di SMS itu kan toh. Oh iya itu. Oh itu bukan muslim ya sih? Kukira takkan bersama. ISG nih guys, chicken lagi nih. Tadi kalau nggak salah chicken nih di match berapa ya? Pertama apa ya? Ya, Whitefish juga itu jago banget itu. Kemarin penguasa bukit Jerjepol. Ya. Itu keren sih kemarin ya.
They do spot some parachutes up in the air, and this is
Aku
definitely
fans
gonna
ISG
be
dari lahir,
a bit
ya
concerning
ya.
because the drops are
Gue juga
coming in
semenjak
close.
FTF
There's gonna be a
tadi
chance here for our
tusun,
opponent,
gue
and
jadi
maybe a
ngefans banget sama
lifeline
ISG nih, nggak tau kenapa ya.
here for Golden Squad to pick up these points
Kemarin sih gue
for
ngefans
that
kayak gitu,
top eight
VLTH
finish.
naik ke top 2 guys. Sekarang
do they
lagi
actually make it in all
di top
alive?
9
Yes,
nih.
they do.
Kalau bisa makin
You
ke
know
bawah
who's
lah.
not alive though? Contract Teddy's gone. PMA is gone.
Langsung menyalah
11th
lagi.
spot team. Maybe that's it for them. Need a desperate
Nggak
play
usah lah kill.
to claim enough points to take that top 8 in the final game.
Nah,
For this one though, they have
for
absolutely no chance.
Fox
Don't know
ini,
why
tim
they
Fox
were
juga
so
bagus
stuck
nih
in the
guys ya.
field like that. Stuck in their car, and it looked like they were just stopped dead still. But KS, what can they do?
Aduh.
A little bit of a mid-game fight for them. Usually you see them fighting early, down, 2 taken down by Riz. Yeah, this is just momentum now from Armory Gaming off the back of that 19-kill win. They don't have any
Apalah bantingannya itu ya?
whatsoever. The mechanics on display from Riz. It's a nice 2K, and they claim one of the most priority spots inside Impala.
Yeah, he just shredded them apart with no chance for even reaction out of FRKS. Good to actually see Armory Gaming
gini
with
emang
that
gue,
momentum.
guys.
So, of course, fans are not too concerned
Di
about
day
their
1 dia
position right now.
bantai
with
2
them
tim itu.
pretty much,
Di
qualified
Miramar.
for the finals. And back to what you
Bener-bener
mentioned about
empat-empatnya
PMA,
mereka
right?
babat tuh,
Like,
8
I was
kill.
also baffled as to why they decided to basically book it through those fields, because they had the
Ngapain
option
sih
while they
abangku?
relate to either go down a little bit more south or even up towards the north, where they could still get a little bit more cover through those roads. And
AG
now
Anjing
they're really
Gaming.
finding themselves with no more chance. Really sad day for the side
Anjing.
of the PMS supporters, as they won't be seeing
AG
more
Anjing
out
Esports
of
sih. Biasanya kan
these
anjing
teams to
atau
be
apa itu bisa
qualifying into the finals, but of
diambil
course, they
2
can
huruf,
still
guys.
root out for Savage Men in the finals.
Enggak ya?
The spot now spots another spot of parachutes moving into the lower grounds, not being able to
Saatnya jadi
capitalize on the
komentator lagi kah?
situation. While they still have a little bit more to
Serak
take
guys, jujur
in.
kemarin juga.
Maybe they could still
Ini masih
steal
ada
on the
sih
way.
sayang, serak.
The circle pulls all the way towards the south. We're not getting our island ending,
White
but
Fish,
the team's
jangan kalah, White
absolutely
Fish.
relieved with this. Zeno is kidding.
Yo Whitefish nice lah.
Not happy with
Misanin
that
temen.
one. But I mean, Impala circles are exciting in their own right, right?
Oh,
Impala
lagi
circles,
knock
you
itu.
end up with so many teams in Impala, and they're all fighting
Nice!
for a position that doesn't really exist. There's not enough real estate to fit
Gila
all the
White
teams that
Fish
end
nih
up finding themselves
dek,
inside
dek
Impala by the
senggol
time
lah,
we get to the end
Wensi
game. So,
rata lah,
I'm sure we'll
apalah
get
top 1
plenty
ini.
of action. Island circles.
Nggak ada guys,
overrated.
White Fish
Right,
nih.
guys? Yeah, they're overrated. It's like a 4v4 by the time we get to 15 minutes. Overrated. I'm not disappointed at all. But look, and Impala Circle happy with it, and so all the teams that are already set up inside Impala, but for the teams that aren't set up inside
Idris
Impala,
ada
it's
yang
kind of
mau rela-rela
mad dash to
barengin juga
try and get
mager
inside or
dia.
find yourself in the spots around Impala. The unplayables to the
Pantatnya
east of
dia udah
Impala are
nyatu
certainly
sama
playable. You can fit
kursi
many teams
gamingnya dia,
below them,
bro.
in and amongst them, and potentially even get on top of them as well once Panic has to come down from their current reign of terror up there. They're going to be happy with the circle as well. Probably one of the teams that's the
Emang ada
happiest out of everyone in this zone, just because of the amount of information they're going to be able to gather. A little bit sad that a lot of the teams will be sat inside buildings for Panic, which means they can't really take the shots that
Rame
they
ini
actually
tempat
want.
nih.
All the stuff that
Gue
they
liat-liat
could
nih.
realistically get is going to be super long range, looking at the fields, looking north into the industrial, potentially south as well, if anyone finds themselves coming up from the south, but it's only going to be one team in ISG.
Next
So Panic
match
might
UNC harus
have a bit of a
tusun.
dry streak of kills here, unless we see
Sebenarnya
some
kalau
kind
UNC
of
ini udah
building
kokoh banget
breaches where
guys di
teams
atasnya.
and players have to expose themselves, run from door
Ini
to
kan
door, and from building to
tarafnya
building.
udah
Panic might not get as many kills as they're hoping for.
Yeah, I thought so as well,
seleksi
because
final.
with the current
Jadi
situation of
sebenarnya
teams
nggak top
who are
1
pretty much,
untuk FTF itu
within
nggak apa-apa,
any
yang penting
sort of
lolos dulu di
state that
final.
they're
Karena nanti kan
currently
reset
at.
lagi tuh.
With the
poinnya.
off chance of them running out with
Ya nggak sih?
the circle shift, then perhaps Panic will be able to get more. And speaking of more,
Nah,
we
baru
got
di
some
final
more
stage
coming
nanti
in for game.
Kompe
That
tuh
I
incer
wanna
top
see it
1.
landing on somebody out there. I mean, we've seen quite a number throughout our 3-day run. So
Yeah.
one more wouldn't hurt at all. So we still want some to go into
Nanti
the
masih ada
Hot Wheels
Indopret nggak
for
tuh?
sure.
Ada.
Anyways,
Ada FTF,
I
Bang.
guess that's what we can hope for.
Cuman di
since
match
we can
5
get
ini
the
dia
islands.
udah
Same
tusun
side
duluan
for
nih.
the side of
Nanti semoga di
ISG all the way down
match
south
6 nih.
for only the meantime. And
menyala abangku
I
lagi
guess
ya kan.
if
Gue sih
it does pull in the city,
berharapnya
that's a
chicken ya.
chance
Karena
for
dari
the side
kemarin
of
hashtag
Panic
2
to be
terus.
able to catch a few over the
Kebanyakan
south
dari
side,
FTF.
since they've already got that early information on ISG to begin with.
Sekarang diambil top
While
8
over onto the north, RXE
untuk
will just
final.
basically take it a little bit slow towards the factory area.
Di
to
final baru nanti
eventually close in onto
top 1, 2,
Whitefish
3,
territory.
4
They trade.
Sampai
I
5
like
sih
the
harusnya tadi
approach.
ya.
They are not gonna commit just
Tapi
yet
kayaknya
into the city side.
4 besar nanti bakalan udah pasti lolos PGS 3 dan PGS 4. Sisanya itu pengumpulan poin PGC. Jadi ada 2 pintu untuk PGC guys, dari qualifier ini nanti, dari qualifier nanti sama dari PGS. Tapi masa nggak 2 jalur ya kan? Mendingan 2 jalur lah. Jadi lebih punya opsi gitu. Dari qualifier ada kesempatan, dan nanti lolos PGS ada kesempatan lagi. Jadi duit dapat, terus tiket dapat gitu buat berlaga di PGS. Pertama kalinya sih sebenarnya kalau tim Indo sampai lolos ke PGC sebuah prestasi besar.
Of Impala, if they were a 4-man,
sisa 1 match setelah ini.
To do something in this game, just give them
Total 2
that
match
position, but they're a 2-man and it's FRKS, so I don't really give them any shot at having a real chance in the end game here. Too many teams for them to get through, even if it ends up kind of ending in their building.
Kalau gue genteng lah
best case scenario for them, but only with 2 men up, it can be.
Yang offline sih harusnya PGC doang sama PNC mungkin.
Getting ahead of myself. Have to keep an eye on that leaderboard as well. 8th Valai Tai, 9th Reluctant Squad, 10th GLS.
Kalau PGS
as well, needing to have a decent game to secure their spot in the top 8, leaving it
online karena jadwalnya padat banget, bulan Maret, bulan April, nanti ada lagi Agustus, September apa ya kalau nggak salah.
And they find themselves on the northern side of the circle, right here. We're looking at them right now. Sat in the industrials, certainly can do something off the edge that they're currently on, but it's going to be a much harder fight than everyone who's already found themselves inside Impala.
Yeah, it's so difficult, especially with a lot of unclimbable areas where when that happens, the members of Panic Esports will be able to also spot those migrating teams. And it really does depend on how this phase 4 is going to treat them. Once it does shift into the outskirts of the downside, then we'll see a lot of migration happening, and that's basically the perfect time for these teams to try to keep each other on board. So in a moment, we'll definitely get that update. They trade. We'll have Belmo already moving in towards the hillside.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 di kotanya, di luarnya.
Some members of the side of Pixel Star should they ever leave, but if it does pull back into the city, it's gonna be really
jatuhnya ini di luar sih. Berarti dalam kotanya ini 8 tim guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 sama Wetfish ini udah masuk ke perkotaannya lagi kan. Haya sebenarnya. Kalau full offline budget, iya itu dia bang. Kasian untuk para player budgetnya bang. Apalagi misalkan ya, anggap PGS itu offline. PGS rank terbawahnya berapa? Misalkan 2.000 atau $4.000 deh. Itu kan sekitar 7 sampai 15 juta kan kotor. Babang makasih. EWC nanti bulan 7. Ya, EWC itu semacam PNC nggak sih bang? Apa tim aja ya? Kalau PNC kan nasional ya. Kayaknya PNC beda event ya menurut gua. Ya anggap ada EWC itu Esports World Cup kan. Nah jadinya dari bulan 5 bulan itu semua turnamen gitu guys. Bayangin kalau itu offline semua ya. Rank terendah $4.000 anggapan, 15 juta satu orang. Itu pun apa? Kotor. Selenggaranya di mana? Di negara mana ini? Dubai misalkan. Atau di mana? Tiket PP nggak bisa habis 10 juta nggak sih? Sama akomodasi satu orang pasti lebih nggak sih? Boncos anjing. Bener aja. Kecuali dibajetin sama PUBG-nya ya, beda tuh. Biasanya slot itu 5 tiket kalau dikirim ke offline gitu guys. Kita waktu itu pernah perwakilan PNC itu kan zaman dulu yang Rusia di band ya, diganti sama Indonesia waktu itu. Nah itu slotnya 5. Satu katanya sih waktu itu, satu manajer katanya, 4 pemain, ternyata coach ya. Hampir saya kebet waktu itu. Ayo masuk tuh jadi manajer katanya. Ayo manajer. Iya, cuma nemenin anak-anak aja. Oh, nemenin ya. Pas gua ngeliat PNC, oh, coach ternyata. Terima kasih coachnya.
Yeah, they took that perfect opportunity on the weakened side of Daytrade Esports. And I thought that Daytrade will be able to do much better against ISG. Flash literally was trying to give them that saving grace by basically securing all these knocks.
Tiket dan akomodasi itu nggak cukup lah, 10 juta itu buat satu orang. Terlalu gede budgetnya bro. Beda manajer sama coach itu beda guys. Manajer itu yang memanage timnya, kebutuhannya, ngurusin hotelnya di mana, nanti makan apa. Gitu.
This is the only
ngurusin
moment
strategi
that they can basically get the best to secure that top 8.
Kecuali ada coach yang ngerangkap manajer, beda kalau itu kan. Dia memang udah coach tapi sambil memanage juga ada. Ada yang benar-benar manajer ya manajer gitu. Ada yang manajer nggak ngerti gamenya ada, karena yang dia fungsiin adalah untuk ngurus timnya aja gitu.
Very close to RS though, and now RS have full information that it's Valai Tai. It's a weakened Valai Tai as well.
Contoh apa? Pinky manajer kan ya kalau nggak salah. Dia kan nggak nge-coachin anak-anaknya, anak-anak MRPX-nya. Nggak ngelatih mereka dia. Dia cuman ngurusin anak-anaknya gitu, ngurus bocah-bocahnya aja nih. Botnya nape nih? Delay bang biasanya.
Very stacked fight, like I said. Armory Gaming up in the top 4.
Ngomong-ngomong kita ngobrol-ngobrol White Fit sama ISG udah tusun nih guys. Tenang. Ada Fox sama Dopenes nih yang masih bertahan nih. Ya Allah, kagak dicek. Halah. Biasa guys. Grenade moment lah.
GLS Esports a little bit shaky here, but they will still get to zone up the entire
rata RS-nya.
Blowing them out with one big back.
Okay. What a hero play from Hwang Nam.
Biasalah, nganu itu bang, nganu momen lah. Iya, panik dikin, bener panik dikin, Bang Idris. Babang bismillah, kalau anak-anak lolos ke EWC tiket untuk berangkat doang 9 juta. Kalau PP itu tiket doang bang, belum penginapan, belum makan, belum transportasi lainnya dalam negeri. Ayah,
They can't do much. Again, only 2 kills to their name. A spot like this, you're hoping for a lot more, but I think this unplayable is a bit deceptive. Again, especially if it ends up in an end game like this, everyone's inside buildings. Everyone's inside buildings, and as soon as they leave those buildings, they're running through smoke walls like we just saw Reluctant Squad do. So Panic have basically nothing.
Dia gecolnya tangan guys biasalah. Wow loh, kotak banget nih dek.
So he's just been
Zona full kota adik-adik.
27 remaining left for Dusky as well. I can imagine Pivi and Suspect are on very similar standing as well.
Belum titipan oleh-oleh dari sana family. Intinya kalau itu akomodasi modal sendiri. Bangkrut bang. Cuman ngelihat dulu sih hadiahnya berapa ya. Yang jadi masalah kan gini, duitnya kan gak langsung cair bang, jauh gitu cairnya. Nggak sebulan 2 bulan gitu, bisa jadi 6 bulan, bisa jadi 9 bulan, bisa jadi setahun, kita nggak tahu ya kan cairnya. Berarti kan harus ada duit di muka nih, walaupun udah ada jaminan prize pool gitu ya, di hashtag berapa gitu.
They're definitely not stopping on the tapping as they manage to get the
tapi EWC itu kalau memang bukan PNC, PNC kan mewakili negara ya guys ya. Kalau EWC ini kayaknya per tim gitu ya kan. Gue cuma pengen tahu seleksinya aja gitu. Apakah dia tetap per negara tapi diambil satu tim terbaik, atau main mewakili negaranya gitu kayak PNC, karena kan World Cup kan bawaannya. Skalanya internasional.
Stolen by Huangnam continues to be the playmaker for GLS. Over to Panic right now. Pangs get down in the background though. Keep an eye on that kill feed because GLS versus Armory Gaming is a pivotal fight in this one. Dusky doing his best over the ridge. GLS losing another member in Diane. Suspect Pixel Stars just trading blows. Stolen away from Vanahan in the background.
Pixel got eliminated
and there goes Pixel
by
Stars finally back to
PNC here.
Eji
menggila di sini adik-adik. Buta, tapi tipis-tipis masih bisa melihat Dimas TY. Dimas TY.
Armory Gaming, Riz, Dynasty, again, dynamic duo. Riz has done it all for them this game. 5 kills, Dynasty.
Aduh, Dopenes.
His sidekick at the moment and Panic. They try to make their way in, but I think it's too much of a desperate play. They've got smokes up, they can make their way to this hard cover, but how much are they going to suffer? How many losses are they going to take before they finally can settle down and debrief?
And Elise with a little bit of dust settle over onto the lower end. Valai Esports is actually managed to pull through here without actually having to commit into much, and it's finally go time for them as they drop a couple of nades towards side of
dilontarkan
Panic.
saja, another bomb
We'll be able to get
from
them easy
Vincio
captures. They're
here.
already into
Buh!
the but
Connect ternyata.
still latches onto both
Harus
Dusky as well as
memulangkan
Vivi.
Dusky dan Mang
Vincio
kena
has been able to open up
Bang
so much
Pinky
room
di
for
situ
this
ya.
push, and now this is a perfect opportunity for them to seize out the rest of Panic Esports. Valai Tai,
Gila
they
sisa
played it safe for most
dua-dua
part,
gini guys.
but can they close up these fights when they need to? Was the rest of Armory cutting across? Panic Esports now trying to get the hole against Vinci as he's being held back. Not going for that full push for the moment. He climbs through
Cari
the
celah.
crates. Might be able to get the angle
Belum
against
terlihat.
light work. He's
Menyisiri.
already keeping the angles here. Light work repositions. Be a
Dia
pretty
ngeliat
close
senjata
one.
yang kena
PV
kayaknya.
still needing a little bit of help, but of course, no time to even think about that rescue yet from inside of light work.
Kita dukung Dopenes guys ya. DNA nih. DNA kayaknya ini chicken banget nih guys. Menurut gue ya. Jepang nih kalau nggak salah kan Dopenes ini dope-dope.
While Panic Esports will get more room for themselves
Watashi wa
with the rest
namae wa
of RXE back in the
Japan
way.
desu.
Armory still in fantastic stride to win this game. And yeah, like you said, Panic don't really need
Zona
more points at this
sekecil
stage in the game.
itu.
Rapsiak, neither did they.
5
One team
tim
that we
masih
absolutely need to keep an eye
beradu.
on is Valai Tai in 8th spot.
Walaupun sisa-sisa
How
sih.
many points can they garner from the remainder of this game? Every point valuable for them.
Up.
Brings them further and further away from the likes of Reluctant Squad, GLS, and closer to the teams that are guaranteed in that top 8. Valai Tai second in the Thai League before this as well, remember that. So expectations high for them. Rapsiak are going to now try to make their move. This is phase 9, ladies and
Ini
gentlemen.
namanya escape
10 alive.
move guys ya.
5 different teams. I believe it's a 2v2, v2, v2, v2 between all
Apa
these
akan
5
bertemu
teams.
di sini?
So we've
Saling
got
lari saja,
excellent
saling
action
kejar.
ahead. Panic Esports clearing out the buildings. They've thrown smokes across that road so they can make this cross safely. Valai Tai I don't think they need smokes just yet, but they're certainly making their way building to a building. That is a massive gap between them and Armory Gaming, but there's no windows on the sides of those buildings that Armory Gaming are in. So Valai Tai can probably make this cross. The only worry for them is maybe Panic looking their way, but I think there's too much in the view of Panic to actually capitalize on Valai Tai's movement.
Atasnya itu ada PNC nggak sih?
Atasnya deh. Fight like this, you may as well go for it. Vinasuit down, Danahan now the last one up for RXC. Panic close on the other side of the road as well, probably looking to
nice Inosuke-san.
Onto RXC.
Nice.
Valai Tai have Panic nades go out, but as I said,
one touch.
To actually take those gunfights. Those nades are getting dangerously close though to the team currently sitting in 8th place. Valai Tai, this is their opportunity to move as well. Armory Gaming is completely occupied by Dopeness, and Valai Tai have made the cross.
Yeah, there was gonna be
nice Dopeness nih, Dek. Gila nih.
Being blinded out, and he's only through the door.
Wow! Wah, instan doang. Halah. E-sport juga manusia. Pernah miss, pernah draw. Yo, Dopeness. Dopeness, you can do it.
As well as Rules really having quite the time here in this urban finish in Impala. And now smokes through the streets.
Kok mereka nggak pakai skin senjata itu? Nggak boleh kan? Ini juga sesuai ini doang sih. Sesuai akun yang disiapin.
But Tana's got nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, no more smokes for them. Esports goes out. And
Bang
now
Rap.
somehow Dopeness is still within this match. And they're not going to partake in the fight. Armory Gaming here, just random space into smoke, and it's just helter skelter right in front of his eyes.
Gila, guys, menyala nih. Shotgun by Panic Esports menutup Chicken ke 5 dari match hari ini.
That was just chaos, absolute pandemonium.
Chaos, absolutely chaos. Yeah.
I thought he threw the pan. I'm going to be honest with you. That's why I got all up in arms. I thought he finished that off with a pan, but it wasn't. It was the sawn off in the end.
Kenapa UNC nggak ada, guys?
What an ending in Impala. A straight
padahal
5-team finish.
pasti menyala abangku loh kalau UNC ada itu. NC di atas itu menyala semua itu. Panik dikit nggak ngaruh, dikit aja. Cuman tadi Dopeness kenapa tiba-tiba di tengah-tengah gitu ya? Nih, untuk yang mau melihat. Nah, 8 besar yang hijau-hijau ini, guys, bakalan terpilih lolos ke babak selanjutnya dan mengisi slot yang ini, guys ya. Nih. Karena di sini udah ditunggu nih, ada Cerberus E36. Wah, ini udah Terminator semua ini, guys ya. Ini TB kemarin gila banget, guys. Sebelumnya apa sih ini dia? Ini tim apa sih dulu ya? EXO Arena, oh enggak juga ya. Sebelumnya apa sih ganti nama kan? Mata gua lagi sakit lagi. Gatel deh lebih tepatnya.
Looking at day trade here to see if they would still be able to pull through. Well, of course, back towards display where we had also
emang tim Bliss namanya kan? Kan yang 12 apa? Emang tim Bliss, guys. Cuman pemain-pemainnya kayaknya pemain ini, deh. Pemain tim lama ini. Yuki Kamucho kan orang lama kan ini. Ardin, makasih udah join membership ya. Kalau TB-nya sendiri sih gua jujur ya, jarang ini gua.
An incredible final 1v1. Lightwork not losing his head in that moment. The sort of out, of course, throughout the smokes. What other gun are you going to have?
Yuki Kamucho.
Shotgun in one of your 2 primary slots, then you pull the one out that's currently in your 3rd slot, and you just take him out just like that.
Incognito. Cara ngelihat dia di tim mana aja dulu gimana sih guys? Caranya. Yuki kamu history. Oh ini nih Fury semua berarti ya ini ya, bekas Fury guys. Di sini ada toh, ngapain ribet anjing. Fury sekarang di mana? Masih menyala guys Fury. Cuman pemainnya pada nggak ada nih. Yuki Kamucho pun pindah nih ke tim Bliss gitu. Jatuhnya gantiin Fury nih tim iblis ini guys. Yuki kamu Monty Inside. Inside ini juga Fury kan? Nah iya. Ini EXO. Kita belum ada nama nih kita nih. Insert ini serem ya. Yuki Kamucho berapa duit nih yang udah dia dapetin guys dari sini? $113.000. Wak Jeker makasih 6 bulannya. Ardi nih. Hasan thank you dari John member ya. E36 Indo bukan sih Bang To. Bukan E365 kalau Indo. Timnya Jack dulu sama Vandal. E36 Jepang ntar ya. Kita lihat nih. Japanese Takumi Yamasaki. Banyak juga pras. Wih, ngeri kali bah. Ini E36 itu yang megang Jepang ya guys ya. Tapi memang di PGS 2023 ini agak sedikit drop ya. Hashtag 29 ini dikali. Tapi asal kalian tahu 29 itu $15.000 ya guys ya. Bukan angka kecil kalau untuk di Indo ya. Nah PGS yang waktu dulu itu ini PGC sorry. Dia udah PGC ranknya itu 29. Paling kecil berarti $11.000 ya kan. Itu hasil gabungan dari press pool sama dari crowdfunding penjualan dalam game apa? Itu gimana ya gue lupa. Lolos PGC tapi dia guysnya. Ini PGIS guys. Zaman dulu pas Covid nih. PGIS ini gila banget guys ya. Berkali-kali lipat ini guys. Hashtag 29 juga. Tapi $50.000 adik-adik. 32 sampai 27 $50.000. Sepertinya ini flat sampai atas ya. Cuman ini ada crowdfunding ini apa gimana ya? Mungkin dari yang tiket-tiket itu kali ya, apa gimana ya? Wah, betul ngerti sih. Intinya sih dulu PUBG gila guys 1,2 juta. Press pool ini berarti sekitar 5 juta, 3 juta, 4 juta. Ah, itu dia. 4 jutaan lebih, ini 5 juta lah. Dolar ya, PGIS. Ngeri guys. PUBG dulu tuh. Menang PGS itu Sonic kan. Coba kita lihat tim Sonic guys. Wah. 1-1-1-1. Di Amerika sih no counter ini dia ya.
for that final hurdle. So
PGS
definitely have to see if they would find a lifeline here because their chances for a chicken dinner is still pretty
2
high heading to this particular map. So we'll
top 1
definitely see
dia.
if that pressure has
Oh ini
really
waktu itu
gotten
yang
into
Danawa Dawan. Iya. Ini yang gua pick guys kebetulan. Sampai lupa. Oh iya ada tulisannya ya di atas ya. Tapi itu kan dari ininya doang. Dari press pool biasanya. Belum dari crowdfunding.
Finalized in that top 8, and there are 4 teams who are playing for everything. What that's going to do to the macro game surrounding those 4 teams, what that's going to do to the game as a whole, is yet to be seen. Obviously, these teams are going to want as much practice as they can
Most
get, even if you are in that bottom
creative
8 and solidified knockout.
Best team content.
In that top 8, it's limit tested.
50.000
We can do what we want now. We can practice. We can try things out that we didn't necessarily want to try when we were actually fighting for position.
50.000 ini. Tapi kok ini? Oh emang gak cukup. Seseorang udah selesai kato D3-nya. FTF lolos kan? Masih menunggu match 6 adik-adik. Makin kecil dong kata Idris. Hanya berasa visi harus pada makin kecil kata Idris. Emang sih Idris $3,5 juta tuh kecil lah buat lumayan Idris ya. Ucap yang sejam dapat 12 juta guys, gila. Mengerikan. Nah, intinya sih ini ya guys ya. Nanti kalau FTF masuk, udah pasti dia megang poin buat PGC, jalur qualifier Asia Pasifik yes. Begitu. Lah, Idris kan $800 dalam 1 jam bang, ya kan? Ingat loh dalam 1 jam. Kalau dia sebulan live stream 3 jam per bulan, ya kan? Berarti kan dia punya ngantongin 3 jam kali 30 hari 90 jam. 90 jam dikali $800 bang nih. $800 $72.000 per bulan kali berapa 1 tahun? Salah. Kali berapa? 1 tahun deh. Idris ngantongin $864.000 dalam setahun. Gua jadi live streamer udah berapa? 7 tahun. 8 tahun. Mau 8 tahun guys. Ya. Kali 8 tahun. 3,5 juta. Kecil lah 3,5 juta dolar mah bang. Ya kan? Gox, makasih Gox. Kapan Mas Dok Apparel X501 rilis? Gua tungguin. Anjing itu kudu diomongin anak-anak dulu lah bang. Ya. Gila bro. $6,4 juta. Dikali kurs coba nih USD to IDR 6 juta. $6,4 juta. Ini aja gue nggak tahu nih nolnya berapa nih. 1, 2. Wah, 101 miliar. Ya. 101 miliar guys. Bentar. Bentar nih bang. Udah mulai guys. Sorry. Ayo mulai yuk. ngitungin pendapatan Idris. Nah, berapa only one yang bisa dibeli sama Idris kalau punya 101 miliar guys? Bayangin loh. Sorry udah ketinggalan hampir 2 menit deh. Perang terjadi ISG versus Fox di sini. Tercicil saja. Rata di sini ya, ISG harus dipulangkan oleh Fox Kingslayer. Perebutan Puerto Rico. Apa sih ini? Purwokerto ya. Dimenangkan oleh Fox. Slay the king of the king. Sorry aja nih Toh, kalau Mas Dok sama Idris nggak ada apa-apanya. Sorry. Maaf banget ya Bang ya. Apalah gue nih. Semoga rezeki gue sama kayak rezeki Idris guys ya, $6,4 juta dalam waktu 8 tahun lah ini. Enggak dari sending beli only one. Gimana Bang? Cepet ya jedanya, cepet Bang. Gue juga sampai bingung tadi. Berarti jam 9 tank tadi. Udah mulai kayaknya tuh. Udah lobby up Bang, lobby up.
They were kind of camouflaged. Maybe my vibrance is messed up. But yeah, no, so Reluctant Squad in loss. Not necessarily the easiest entry to the zone on certain circles. But if you're looking at the map showing
Betul
right
sih,
now,
Idris. Nggak ada apa-apanya sih Idris sebenarnya.
Basically the entire side of the zone to themselves. They can make their way in on that eastern side.
Baca berita kan ada yang korupsi 201 triliun. Itu gimana ya ceritanya guys ya? Jadi apa aja ya? 201 triliun anjing. 1 triliun aja 1000 miliar guys, maksud gue tuh 1 miliar aja 1000 juta gitu. Oh, lu bayangin ada uang 1 juta nih, anggap 10 juta deh gepokan ya kan, tapi ada 100 juta biji gitu, ada ya 10 juta biji gitu gepokannya guys, ada 10 juta gepok gitu. Apa dijadiin ini kali ya, dicampur semen. Iya jadi berapa only one ya? Itu nggak sih guys kita nih? 201 triliun. Untuk 200 triliun. Dibagi only one 5 juta ya kan?
Dahlia coming out with the nade now. Manhung down to 47. If this nade is anywhere close to him, then he's probably going to be taken down.
Pendapatan ini sehari tuh
down to 10 HP. Heads up play.
Bakal muncul di atas nanti guys.
Second one puts him down to 1.
Gue udah baca duluan ya. Karena langsung refresh dia, keren bagi-bagi. Makin update, makin mantap ya. Makasih aku gede. Thailand only one terus lama. Udah only one try. Beuh! Drop! Aduh, Wensi lagi.
To a 1v2 actually. This is a straight drive-by from WF. They don't want to let him get away with that. They want to try to save that member of their team, and they are probably going to
main-main lo sama ikan putih lo, tapi UNC di sini menabrak saja, tidak mau meninggalkan momen. Sementara Dahlia harus terpisah dengan teman-temannya. 1 ditukar 2 kah ini? Whitefish mendapatkan 2 ternyata kawan-kawan ya. Luar biasa Whitefish. 1 hit dari Sapau. Belum mampu menumbangkan Whitefish di sana. Sangat solid bertiga ya. Sedangkan UNC harus struggle di atas bukit. Apakah dia akan ke sana? Tentu. Tapi ingat, nyebrang bukan sembarang nyebrang ini. Butuh pengorbanan. Tapi ada AG di sini, 1 orang AG. Cover cukup tidak cukup kemelut di sini. AG versus Whitefish, tapi AG harus merelakan 3 temannya ke knockout. Di tengah-tengah, rata sekebon.
to take
Ake
them all
menumbalkan
out.
temannya.
Having a scare here.
Satu nyawa ditumbalkan untuk memulangkan Whitefish, tetapi di sini Wensi melihat peluang. Melihat peluang, ada satu orang yang sepertinya bisa di steal kill. Baik sekali Wensi. Bom telah dipasang. Lemparkan saja Dimas T. Feeling yang cukup bagus. Dia mundur. Harusnya sudah ketahuan ya di sini Sapau. Cukup hati-hati. Gila, AG menumbalkan temannya nggak apa-apa guys tadi. Yang penting tiga-tiganya rata. Udah bom aja. Dia lagi di pep depan gua. Bom aja, gas duar gitulah. Kurang lebih mic check. Oh iya tadi ada Aukarin ya dapat. FTF mengumpulkan 2 kill di sini. Sepertinya saya miss ya. Maaf, terlalu fokus dengan yang ada di depan. Sepertinya saya melewatkan 2 momen FTF mengkill Forest ya sepertinya ya. Tim Forest ini terculik 2. Di tur ini ada tim Indo nggak Bang Okto? FTF ya. FTF sekali lagi. FTF from the four. From the future ya. Last match kan tuh betul. Ini penentuan, benar-benar penentuan guys. Indonesia FTF lolos apa enggak untuk ke tahap final stage. Doakan saja yang terbaik adik-adik.
Yeah, especially being so early into Miramar.
Ya FTF aja di tim Indo. Di sini tim Indonya.
Very healthy.
Sejujurnya ini cukup cepat sih guys. Banyak pertumpahan darah udah terjadi di 10 menit pertama. Karena bisa kelihatan di sini 2 tim harus tumbang, 50 orang yang tersisa. Entah karena last match apa gimana gue nggak ngerti ya.
Alive for most part, if they could finish within that top 5 ratio, that would still give them maybe a fighting chance. But for GLS, I did mention that they were one of the 4 teams away. They'll take this opportunity to get.
Ini yang panas 7 sampai 10 bener guys, tapi 5 sama 6 ini harus bahaya juga, harus hati-hati karena this is battle royale bro. Kita nggak bisa ngerti yang terjadi bagaimana. Yang penting FTF harus bisa finish dengan hasil yang maksimal di match kali ini. Karena ini match terakhir untuk menentukan lolos atau tidaknya tim FTF ke final stage. Walaupun sementara masih lolos ini. Ada 3 tim yang berada di luar arena, UNC, PNC dan GLS di sini. Terlihat Daytrade melihat GLS terbang di atas awan. Apakah akan turun di tempat yang sama? Mari kita saksikan bersama-sama rekan. Dikejarkah? Dikejar sepertinya adik-adik. Dikejar. Entah ngejar mereka atau ngejar apa tadi? Nah itu yang merah-merah ya. Ngejar paket guys. Aku sampai lupa namanya apa sih. Drop-dropan ya. Lupa sih. Minimal placement aman bisa lolos lah, amin. Tapi kalau bisa sih ngekill alhamdulillah udah 2 nih guys. Tinggal placementnya aja ya kan. Supply drop guys maksud gua tuh itu ya. Supray! Betul Idris, sebenarnya Supray guys yang sebenarnya.
They'll eventually find that out. They've got plenty of compounds to play with, even access to the center if they manage to get onto that high ground quickly enough. Pixel Stars making their way. They are close to the blue, so they are quite far away from the zone. They'll take the coastal road, as so many teams do on a zone like
ya,
this.
Zone sepertinya tadi dekat anak-anak ya. Dekat FTF. Kita harus tebak zona sih.
We're starting to see Valdemar being occupied. A potential over the finish once again, heading into the direct center stage of what's about to come.
Sedang menentukan turun di mana ya. Sepertinya dia memutuskan untuk turun di seberang kota. Terlihat di situ satu gedung menjadi target utama dari pendaratan dari Dimas TY di sini. 3 kill, RG mengamankan kill poin sementara, sedangkan tersisa hanya 2 orang dari timnya. Ditembaki saja, belum ada damage yang cukup signifikan mengambil kenyamanan dari AG. Sedangkan Detret Puci harus take medicine first karena open tipis sepertinya dengan jarak jauh ya. Agak sulit untuk men-take down dan menculik-culik dari jauh yang kayak begini-begini nih. Apalagi modal kompon sulit sekali. Oh, lu mau beli Supra, Dris?
Rotating in, but chances are we'll see a little bit more action coming in from the eastern side instead.
PMA harus memulangkan IMP karena di kill confirmed by Finshu Gaming Body. Oke, ini perang dari awal nih Forest ini sama anak-anak nih guys. Alhamdulillah FTF masih belum ada ya yang terculik-culik karena rotasi. Semoga nggak ada rotasi lah. Cuman anak-anak biasanya di rotasinya tuh ada aja gitu.
Yeah, Thanahan yanks that one away from Belmo though. Obviously Rapsiak, another one of those teams not playing for much.
Jangan marah Dris, tenang.
Ego, pride, dignity, full of what you want. They're up there in third, secured for the grand finals, which is good to see. And I love this little circus squad. And I believe again.
Sebenarnya nama orang luar negeri itu bukan Dimas ya, Dim S. Sebenarnya kayaknya canda Bang Dimas ya.
I do love this squad because they not only do they always put on a show, but when they get that win, again, it's not one of those wins that just kind of comes to them and they let the game close in and it's boring. It's wins that they take for themselves. They very assertively
malam ini kota enggak Mas To, sepertinya kota ya.
The game. So I love RXC for that reason. The circle shifts back up to the northern side of the zone. GLS sitting quite pretty. Valai Tai don't have to stress just yet. Forest maybe.
Tapi gue berharap kalau ke kota tuh misi-misi udah beres sih guys. Gue pengen RP santai HI doang itu loh, bukan RP misi anjing. Mager banget gue RP misi sejujurnya. Kalau anak-anaknya misi mah nggak apa-apa dah. Lu support aja gitu. PNC. 2 orang harus tersandung oleh AG di sini. Betapa mengerikannya AG guys. Fox harus berhadapan dengan RS di sini ya. Perang terjadi seiring berjalannya zona. Sepertinya rotasi dilakukan oleh orang-orang by on foot. Trick berhasil kill steal Fox ya, cukup baik. 1 kill point ditambahkan oleh Trick. Gitu dong, culik-culik tipis ya kan. Nah ya Ucok tuh ya kan, bisa itu ngurusin titipan Pemda lah ibaratnya. Bisa tuh. Ya paling RS terus.
Haven't really found him just yet, but with the numbers here, they should be able to do something about this. Lucky J just screwed the door on the opposite side. Pong F, is he really gonna pull this off?
Terakhir FPP anak-anak nembak Om Bebe no. RP apa lagi? Bu, RS lagi. Sawet of Dajjal kita lihat guys.
How do you even react to that? If you're Lucky G, you don't react to that. RS will happily take those couple kills, push them closer to the top 8. Necessary kills from
terlalu offset sepertinya. Kiss harus meregang nyawa di situ kah? Latte pun harus meregang nyawa. Apakah terinstan?
Or just like that, they've already lost 2. I don't think they can get those reses either. I feel like it's survival mode.
Kill confirm lah bang.
They certainly weren't expecting this. UAK, he can't get Kiss. I think Kiss is long gone, so he's going to come over here. Back Mega Loss up. I feel like it's do or die right now. for Valai Tai. Get over here
It.
quick. A nice angle from Megalos, but the shots have been whipped just like last game.
Emang M2 M9 ini guys ya. Wup. Lagi meta sepertinya. Tapi lagi-lagi tergantung yang make. Bentar, zonanya ke atas apa kayak mana ini?
How desperate do Valai Tai get for this kill? The blue is slowly closing in as well. Pixel Stars have thrown Valai Tai's strategy completely out the window. They now need to fight for their lives up against this 1v2, but remember, Mad Pig on the background as well. If Valai Tai get this 1v3 now off, then they've got another member of Pixel Stars to contend with on the low side of the hill.
I didn't expect this coming out of Pixel Stars, and they are going to at least get a little reprieve with a little bit more of a reset. Hangsker now down to 2 HP, gets to heal up. That time with still the squad swing of Pre, will need to look out for Mad Pig.
Forest harus kehilangan satu orang lagi. Forest satu nih ya kan. Ini juga Pixel satu nih. Forest harus pulang. Nggak ketahuan kah? Gue kira dia nggak sadar ada yang loncat. Diintip. Ini dia guys.
Holding down the line against Latay. At least they still have Latay to depend
Kill confirm dulu bang, biasalah.
Wah
gila bro. 1 versus 1 situation dari luar jauh. Oke. Yang jauh sih ganggu banget, tapi bisa di kill steal nggak bang? Bang FTF ada nggak? Oh nggak ada, jauh ya.
Top fragger right now, zone closing in. He's got to pick his teammate up and start running. It's too late, though. Just get out of there. There's a car in the compound he can use to get inside the zone. Saved the day. Panic down. Nice shots from Dynasty. What a clutch.
Kira bakal digendong ke ini loh, mobil loh. Mungkin nggak pakai tas zona tadi ya. Dia pakainya tas level 3, makanya diiklasin guys. Itu alasannya ditinggal. Oh, kemana nih?
He doesn't really have a choice at this moment in time. Terrain on the other side of the road for him to utilize. Could even send himself into that dip next to that crate.
Wah, itu kemayat sih.
Kenanya kemayat sih fix. Right now he's just going to have to sit pretty in that ridge. Spotted out though by Daytrade, that could cause problems. As long as he doesn't lose those tires, I think Latay should be okay. Those tires are so precious for him right now. So
Nunjuk gaming. FTF masih ada zona, tapi sepertinya ini zonanya 75% ke pegunungan ya, bahaya banget ini. Di kota ada RS, FTF sama AG ini gila beton banget guys, berdua aja serem loh dia.
Oh boy, I didn't even notice that. Maybe that happened when we were
gila guys, 8-9 teratas sih. Ya 7 teratas lah ini ya, nge-kill semua ya. Gak ada yang pasif sama sekali nih. Kompe bener-bener kompe yang dihabisin di libas akhir itu bener-bener yang di bawah ini guys. Kecuali PNC ya sama Forest nih.
The zone is not on Reluctant Squad at the moment.
Sebenarnya menguntungkan sih kalau 9, 10, 13 ini Tusun sekarang gitu. Karena nggak mungkin bisa naik lagi kan, ya nggak sih? Jadi posisi yang 8 ke atas itu nggak bakal lolos dari nggak bakal turun ke zona bahaya gitu. Ada bagusnya yang bawa-bawa Tusun sih guys.
So they do have a couple of choices there if they did not find themselves into the circle. So if they
mau aman RS sama GLS harus drop nih. Biar aman banget aja. Maksudnya bang.
To basically push down Force Natural Gaming. But I say that it's
ya,
not
VLTA juga boleh lah Tusun dulu nih.
So many walls
banyak maunya ya.
Corners of Valdemar. Daytrade's been fancying their chances with their mortar, but you know, they're already safe. Play however you want it to be.
Aduh, Dimas teki-teki ini apalah. Aduh, trik hampir aja guys, lagi-lagi rotasi ya. Aduh, beton. Sisa satu loh ini. Dimas TY. Dimas TY. Anjing. Mati ke lu.
It's going to be UNC to look for a little bit more. So that chance of big basically picking kills for RS is not be going in their
Sumpah
favor.
ini orang
Valai Esports is
2 versus 3 guys. Emang satu kenok sih. 2. Ya anggap aja 1 versus 2 lah yang terakhir tadi tuh. Beton.
PGS 3 and 4 qualification on the line for these two teams. Only a few points separate them and the comeback of a lifetime for them. In the car, hop 6, 7, 8, 9,
Alhamdulillah Agedon. Oke ini FTF harusnya masih aman ya. Yang NT kayaknya Forest nih guys. VLTA soalnya udah knock ya kan, udah nganu. Harusnya aman guys, harusnya aman ya. Pahit-pahitnya RS naik, GLS naik pun, FTF masih rank 8 nih guys. Ya nggak sih? Masih oke nih guys.
A devastating result for a team that we heavily praised on the initial couple days. For them to find themselves out now, I can't imagine the state of the Discord. It'll be a very somber mood for the moment.
Nggak mungkin DNE tiba-tiba Shirk poin 120 gitu, nggak mungkin kan? Nggak mungkin banget bang, ya kan?
Exactly what they needed to indeed up into 8th, securing their spot in the grand finals.
I'm sure they're just
Ini paling pahit banget harusnya, mentok banget di 8 guys. Tapi kayaknya nggak mungkin sih. Paling 7 kalau RS naik ini.
Believe that to be 6, 7, 8 mine. As Reluctant Squad now dealing with the pressure from up top. That's day trade that's been staying put for the longest of time. And they will make it rain, but
PTS itu kepanjangannya apa sih bang? Poin points. Harusnya itu placement tim secure. RS Dusun makin aman guys, FTF guys. Aman. Aman banget ini. Parah. GLS mau chicken ke, mau apa ke, nggak apa-apa. Mentok FTF rank 7 ya. Masih lolos. Lolos, alhamdulillah. Masih aman guys, masih aman ya.
Them needing about 4 points to say the very least.
Yeah, forget what I said before. I think I said that RS was secure. That's absolutely not the case. GLS can knock them out too.
Kita lihat aja nanti hasil akhir. Lihat aja hasil akhir. Hasil akhir. Balik Virgi, makasih dari John member.
Pushing over now to try and deal with GLS, take them out. Make sure GLS don't have any chance of getting into the finals.
Ini menegangkannya di GLS-nya guys sebenarnya. Karena dia masih ada peluang buat naik ke rank 8 nih. Ini nih maksud gua guys. Berapa tuh jadinya tuh?
And GLS find themselves out of the top 8. No chance of grand finals for them. No chance of PGS 3 and 4 for them at all. Our top 8 is secured, and now we just bask in the glory of that top 8 and the final end game here for the playoffs of the PGS APAC qualifiers.
Commiserations to those that did not make it to the top 8. Well, this is a phenomenal game coming in from Gaming, where we see them basically taking
sama-sama 107 dah kalau nggak salah tadi itu. Itu
Itu
biasanya dari akumulasi placement. Kalau average placementnya lebih bagusan si A, berarti A yang di atas guys. Betairvan, welcome to Fox Go. Ya FTF kayaknya masih hashtag 6 nih guys, alhamdulillah nih.
He's just gonna slowly creep in. Wonder what kind of stuff would they basically pull up while Dazil has been spotted out. Will be able to pull back.
DNE ini mentok-mentok poinnya 90 guys.
So they will be the ones on the driver's seat, but I'm pretty sure that RXE will be able to
ini
challenge
apa ya?
a little bit. Dazil out having
Gila banget guys.
Caught out by Shinosuke.
Top 3, top 4 mulu kerjaannya.
Down to 2.
Spray nggak sih bang?
Who's gonna win it? Final game of the final day. We've secured our top 8. So this is just for
Let Risandi, makasih 17 bulannya ya.
in this end game. Looked very sharp.
Konsisten banget loh ini guys. Rap-rap ini guys.
And the rest of RXC trying to make their way up the hill.
Positioning
Might even res.
bagus, skill lumayan lah ya.
It's always Fap. It is always Fap. Nice little flank from him. Two of Dopeness down very quickly. Nice org spray transfer.
Very quickly.
The rest of
Di
Dopeness
belakangnya
now.
ada lagi tapi harus drop di sini.
It could have been
Di
dangerous to
tangan
cross it.
Dopeness.
The AK is too good at that kind of range. Fap down. Almost that claims him. Now fighting back from Day Trade. They want to get this
Zonanya
third
agak tai
party off.
memang,
They want to make it
kebuka banget
incredibly clean. 11 kills right now. They won't be able to get the
Halah,
record,
halah.
but they could certainly have a little bit more fun than they currently are.
Prot,
Yeah,
drop.
they trade
Oop,
right now will be able to basically enjoy all the angles here. They already know every single position that they would possibly hide. And with a little bit small little challenge from the lower side, they just basically have to deal with Daisy first, and then we'll have a little bit more.
Farrell, welcome to Vox Go.
Now Daisy here, what can he possibly do? He's going to be committing towards the fight towards Day Trade. Well, Uka will take that opportunity to knock him down. So Day Trade will have a little bit of problem here to close
ini
up the
bang,
game.
RX bang.
Daisy though,
Bang Rap,
somehow
MT bang.
still by the edge of it all. I don't think he'll be able to make the cut though. Belmo on that Groza. Just gonna keep watch as he will just layer more and more of these smokes.
Trok.
Day Trade's gonna be having enough fun as they will secure that top 2, but now they just need to deal with the PGS squad. Okay.
2 versus
on the
3 kayak ini.
As he will have to first catch on to Norris.
Tim Indo sudah ada yang pernah juara global atau belum ada?
Norris now going for a really good angle, but the zone's also pressing him on. Tomochi that 10 all the way from the far edge will be having someone sent his way, and that will be it.
Gila,
Day
Deaththreat,
Trade
bro.
will be the one to claim the final
Ini
chicken
dia
dinner
bersinar
tonight,
Deaththreat, bro.
and that will conclude our run here.
Iya,
in the
Belmo,
APAC
Nurin,
Qualifiers.
pemain lama guys. Kita pernah ketemu itu beberapa kali. Kalau rank sering lah, lumayan sering. Gue pernah ngerasain spray Nurin anjing. Sakit banget pakai MP. WMP anjing, bangsat banget dah.
Multiple teams in that final game to close it out. We'll have a look at the overall leaderboard in a little bit to just confirm and visually see who actually made it into that top 8. But yeah,
kita refresh apakah sudah ada hasilnya guys.
highlights as well, as has been every game basically throughout these playoffs. If this is what the playoffs
Sepertinya sudah ada kawan-kawan ya.
what the grand final
Ini adalah hasilnya yang lolos ke babak final stage di sini. Ada UNC, AG, RXC, Day Trade, PNC atau PNI, ada FTF from Indonesia, FTF from Indonesia here, ada VLTH, ada RS, di mana GLS ini kalah poin placement guys ya. Dia itu menangnya di kill. Poin placementnya RS. Ini sih sakit hati guys. Ini 4 juga nih, lihat tuh. Yang gue bilang guys. Ada 3 tim yang sama nih. Ternyata 8-9-10. Ini juga poin placementnya sama. Sakit banget ini guys, kacau ini. Halah, ini pusing lah pala nih. 2 tim ini pasti pusing guys. Kongres buat FTF lolos ke babak final. Anjas. Sudah ada final stage nih Dex. Nanti kita bisa lihat di sini guys. Nah, harusnya di sini udah update nanti. Kalau udah ada apa? Placement itu update di sini tuh. Serok gitu. Partisipannya udah ada. Oh, 24 total ya. Wow, berarti selain sudah ada duluan ini. GLS enggak, guys. GLS udah masuk ke dalam antrian apa gimana ini? Coba ada yang bisa jelasin kan nih? Ternyata ada peserta tambahan adik-adik. Oh, gimana ini maksudnya nih? Tapi enggak sih. Ini mah yang enggak lolos enggak sih? Reward bukan sih? Enggak sih kayaknya ini. Enggak. Ini cuman placement aja. Placement aja. Ya enggak sih? Enggak dapat poin, placement aja. Jadi yang di sini kita apalin ya. Fox, ISG, WF, PXX, DNE, PML4, GLS. Ya King Slayer ini Fox kan? ISG ya kan, Whitefish, PSX, Dope, PMA, Forest Gaming, Galaxy. Ya placement aja. Ya placement aja dia. Nggak dapat apa-apa. Gue kira ada peserta tambahan, Bang. Sorry. Oke, nanti tanggal 30, 31 sama tanggal 3 sama 4 apa ya? Lupa gua. Pokoknya total 4 hari. Kemungkinan besar satu harinya itu 5 match minimal. Jadi ada 20 total match nanti minimal. Atau kalau satu harinya 6 berarti 24 match guys. Total untuk final stage. Seru sekali. Dimana untuk peringkat-peringkat 1 sampai 16 ini akan mengumpulkan PGC poin. Dan untuk yang peringkat 1 sampai dengan 4 akan mendapatkan tiket ke PGS 3 dan PGS 4. Begitu kawan-kawanku. Walaupun memang ada beberapa yang udah partner ya. Nih, contoh nih udah partner nih, Chess sama Day Trade. Kalau dia di atas pun itu nggak mengganggu slot yang lain guys. Ini contoh banget nih. Day Trade sama Chess sudah pasti lolos ke PGS. Berarti dia cuman ngumpulin poin PGC-nya aja. Ya kan, sedangkan nanti 4 tim lainnya peringkat 1, 4, 5, 6 itu tetap lolos ke sono. Jadi sebenarnya Chess sama Day Trade itu nggak apa-apa nanti di atas itu nggak apa-apa sebenarnya, karena tiketnya itu masih aman gitu, nggak mengganggu gitu, nggak double begitu. Di GMC ada yang ladies, iya bang. 24 match mas, 4 hari, berarti 1 hari 6 match ya. Oke guys, thank you yang udah nonton hari ini. Bentar kita lihat. Sobat Nugi sudah mana nih? Sudah kemana Sobat Nugi nih? Udah on belum dia? Apa masih mencari jati diri? Udah ada nih. Oh, lagi nonton konten dia. Oke guys, terima kasih yang sudah nonton. Gua bakalan balik setelah gua boker sepertinya. Nanti gua setting dulu dah. Ya, mungkin sekitar jam 10 ya. Jam 10 gua live streaming lagi, oke? Thank you semuanya yang sudah nonton, yang udah dukung FTF. Congrats buat FTF udah lolos ke babak final stage. Semoga nanti di final stage-nya lebih konsisten lagi, lebih maksimal lagi, dan ngejar top 4 tentunya ya, biar bisa lolos ke PGS 3 dan PGS 4. Amin. Thank you kawan-kawan. Kita ketemu lagi di live streaming berikutnya. Nugi nanti mau nonton Scream MCG. Oh, Scream MCG. Oke. Ya udah. Mau main apa nanti, Bang? Nanti mungkin nyantai dulu kita. Gimana kita ngumpulin bensin buat RP, guys? Mendekati akhir bulan, gue harus nyiapin buat THR anak-anak semua, guys. Oke guys, thank you. Jam 10 gua insya Allah live stream lagi, oke? Bye bye. Thank you.